नजर बनाए हुए हैं। साथ ही साथ राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा सलाहकार अजीत डोभाल लगातार पूरे घटनाक्रम पर जो है नजर रखे हुए हैं, लगातार तीनों चीफ के साथ संपर्क में हैं, साथ ही साथ सीडीएस के साथ संपर्क में तमाम जो आला अधिकारी हैं वो नॉर्थ ब्लॉक और साउथ ब्लॉक में मौजूद हैं।
जी बिल्कुल। और अगर हम वर्तमान की स्थिति के बारे में बात करें जो बॉर्डर पे बनी हुई है, क्या अभी भी ब्लैकआउट है कुछ इलाकों में, राकेश?
देखिए, कुछ इलाकों में ब्लैकआउट रखा गया है सुरक्षा कारणों के लिहाज से, जैसा कि आप जानते हैं, लेकिन अधिकतर जगहों पर जो है लाइट ऑन कर दिया गया है। जहां तक बात है कि पाकिस्तान को भारी नुकसान का सामना करना पड़ा है, उसकी सुरक्षा जो अवाक सिस्टम को जहां तबाह कर दिया गया है, साथ ही साथ कई जो उनके वाइटल इंस्टॉलेशन है उसको भारी नुकसान का सामना करना पड़ा है।
जी बिल्कुल। और जैसे आप हमें बता रहे हैं राकेश कि इस वक्त सीडीएस जो है जनरल चौहान, उन्होंने रक्षा मंत्री को ब्रीफिंग दी है। रक्षा मंत्री राजनाथ सिंह इस स्थिति पर उनकी निगरानी जो है वो बनी हुई है। इस ब्रीफिंग का मुख्य एजेंडा क्या था? सूत्र आपको क्या बता रहे हैं?
देखिए, सूत्रों से जानकारी मिल रही है कि सीडीएस एक तीनों यानी एयर, आर्मी और नेवी की जो वस्तु स्थिति है उससे उन्होंने अवगत कराया है, और सभी तीनों फोर्स जो हैं हाई अलर्ट पर हैं, और साथ ही साथ माकूल जवाब जो है पाकिस्तान के जो कारस्तानी है उसका जवाब दिया जा रहा है। जो लगातार इस बात की जानकारी रक्षा मंत्री को दी जा रही है कि आखिरकार किन किन क्षेत्रों में, चाहे आप गुजरात के भुज ले लीजिए, चाहे आप इंटरनेशनल बॉर्डर के साथ साथ एलओसी पर जो स्थिति है उस पर साफ तौर पर जो है ठोस कार्रवाई की जा रही है, इसका उन्होंने डिटेल खाका जो है रक्षा मंत्री को दिया है। साथ ही साथ सभी आर्मी, एयरफोर्स, नेवी सभी को जो है ये कहा गया है कि माकूल जवाब दिया जाए किसी भी और इसी को लेकर राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा सलाहकार अजीत डोभाल तीनों चीफ से कुछ ही देर पहले बातचीत की है।
जी बिल्कुल, क्योंकि खबरें आ रही थी राकेश की आक्रमण किया जा रहा है शायद लाहौर में, इस्लामाबाद में, वहां धमाकों की आवाज आई है। हालांकि इसकी ऑफिशियल तौर पे पुष्टि नहीं हुई है, मगर शायद इस सब चीजों पे बातचीत हो रही है इस वक्त। लगता है राकेश से हमारा संपर्क जो है वो टूट गया है। लेट मी क्विकली ड्रॉ बैक इन लेफ्टिनेंट जनरल शुक्ला into the conversation. Lieutenant Shukla, we're getting a quick update from our colleague there, reportedly the CDS briefing the defense minister as we speak. Also, of course, shelling continues across the border. That's something we've been seeing, multiple ceasefire violations by Pakistan as well. They're obviously trying to, have our attention and the world's attentions to the border area. India has been retaliating to that very, very effectively. Even as they continue to try and step up this escalation, which, as you're saying, seems to be a completely misplaced and failed strategy. Let's just talk, a second also about this S-400 system and what makes it such a world-class system as we've seen today through the day. Also, Lieutenant General Shukla, the Israeli drones, those have also impressed many this afternoon with how they managed to get to locations like Rawalpindi and Lahore without detection.
So see, I think the broad strategy has been to swarm so many drones that you penetrate the AD system. I mean, the numbers are so overwhelming that they penetrate the air defense system of the adversary, also because of their size and the small payloads that they carried, about 15 kgs. They are very difficult to detect because they are slow moving. That's the entire lesson from Ukraine. In fact, in Ukraine, 80% of Russian casualties, men and equipment, have come from drones. So I'm not surprised at all that drones have been so effective. And these strikes that you were talking of, Lahore, Karachi, I'm told, Islamabad, Sialkot, these are all drones. What we are saying, loiter munitions. So this has been very effective. As far as our own AD topology is concerned, the S-400 is a strategic piece, which has a range of about 400 kilometers. which means as the Pakistani aircraft take off, they are taken down. That is S-400. And the layered AD also consists of Akash Tir, which is domestic Atmanirbharta and defense. I think a product of Larsen Tubro, if I'm not mistaken. So S-400, Akash Tir, and the V-SHORADs, the many smaller AD systems, have also done very well. So in sum, our AD topology has been robust. The counter-aircraft system, counter-drones have been good. And you saw the great work that our fighters did, the Su-30s, Mirages, and Rafales, when Operation Sindoor was launched. And today in the Pakistani riposte, we have brought down an F-16 to J-17s, J-10, even an AWACS. Now that is game-changing. The AWACS system is actually virtually the ears and eyes of Pakistan's entire air power. And if the AWACS gone, the AWACS is called a force multiplier. That is the real major catch. So I think we see a dismantling Pakistani military system, a desolate state which is getting isolated. I'm told Marco Rubio has spoken to Shehbaz Sharif and told him categorically that this terror will not work. So in sum, I think we are seeing the beginning of the end of this whole nuclear terror nexus. Pakistan has to realize that terror as a tool in your statecraft, in the statecraft of any modern state, cannot work. So I think in all, a glorious day for the Indian military and for Bharat.
Absolutely, no doubt. Okay, we're getting further breaking updates coming in now. The DC Chandigarh has stated lights are being switched on from the grid in a short while. However, citizens are asked to observe voluntary blackout. That's the advisory that's come in from the DC Chandigarh. Vipin Parmar is joining us for more on this story. Vipin, give us more details about what the DC Chandigarh has now said. We do know earlier that Mohali, Panchkula, Chandigarh had a blackout.
The Tri-City, after, there was attack in different parts of Punjab, and it was neutralized by the anti-missile system, which is there at the international borders. In precautionary measures, Tri-City, including Chandigarh, Mohali, and Panchkula, there was a complete blackout for almost 4 hours. Now the power supply over here in all the 3 cities have resumed. As the DC Chandigarh, he had already appealed to the people that the blackout exercise, they'll be switching on back on this great power grid in Chandigarh, and also DC Mohali. He had also released his statement that Mohali, Panchkula, and Chandigarh, they'll be restoring the power supply in all 3 cities. But people are asked to, voluntarily, to switch off their lights and observe this blackout voluntarily over here in the Tri-City. But as far as the administration is concerned, they are on a high alert, and they are keeping a very close eye over the movement or anything suspicious over here in the Tri-City.
All right, Vipin, thank you for joining us with those details. Pathikrit Pain, International Affairs expert, also joining us now on the broadcast. Pathikrit, we do know Defence Minister Rajnath Singh